Hey, Mblu, welcome to NFT Hype, man. I'm excited to have you on. I'm actually a fan of yours. A couple years ago, when you did some of those, when you started doing your videos and you started covering different EOSIO projects like Warbly and Chintai and stuff. I just love your personality. I think you're uh, basically a big, boon to the space. And thank you for actually coming on and talking about your amazing project.
Gosh, thank you. I really appreciate that, Johan, and appreciate what you bring to the crypto sphere.
Yeah, thanks, man. So you have this big drop coming up, and I know Uplift Nation and Uplift Art is kind of like an extension of that. Give us a little like a background on what you've been doing and the kind of changes that has been going on there.
Oh yeah, it's just going like crazy. I mean, right now, yeah, we're gearing up for the November 15th drop, and it's again, it's first of its kind. We're throwing mud against the wall and see what sticks. So we're going to learn a lot from this one. You may recall 2 months ago we had the first auction of its type on the Wax blockchain. First music video, full-length music video on the blockchain was auctioned off. Raised a bunch of wax for that. It was a successful event, but again, it was kind of like when you're throwing new innovations out there, you don't really know how it's going to turn out and how it's going to work. So that was a 3-day auction. Went beautifully, better than expected. And now this is the second event, but the first drop for Uplift.Art. And we've partnered with HaitianRoots.com. Cheryl Moyes is the founder, and I've been working with her for a couple of years. I've been in international adoption process for over 4 years, and we finally brought home our 9-year-old daughter from Haiti about 4 months ago now. And so
How's
I'm
that
really
going?
happy to. Sorry.
How's that going?
It's adoption is probably the hardest thing we've ever done. I mean, it's challenging on many levels. First of all, it took 4 years
Yeah.
to do it, and many trips to Haiti. Um, just the paperwork, the bureaucracy you have to go through, the red tape. Um, you know, it could be something as little as the agencies in Haiti run out of paper or they run out of ink, and like us, we live in this Amazon.com instant world. Well, down there, it's not like that. So if
Right.
you run out of ink in the printer, well, it could be weeks before you get new ink, and they're kind of on Caribbean time, anyways. Like it'll get here, right? And so sometimes you're waiting weeks, sometimes months for things where you and I think of like, how can this be, right? Because we live in this world. You go to the corner store, you go onto Amazon, you get things, and you're done, right? But it's not like that in a third world nation. So the adoption process was long and arduous. Lots of walls to push through, mentally, spiritually,
Hmm.
um, and finally, we get her home, and she's 9,
Yeah.
and so she's had 9 years of being conditioned in that environment. So now it's kind of reconditioning her to the world we live in, right? It takes time.
Yeah.
Plus, we have 2 boys are our own, that are natural to us.
Yeah.
And they're all around the same ages. 8, 9 is Land, and then 11 is the oldest. And fortunately, they all get along beautifully. They have fun. There's a lot of laughter in the house, but still, it's this really deep, profound moment of reconditioning her. And I mean, you've got somebody that's 9 years. Well, 5 of those years, she basically grew up in a sewer.
Hmm.
Okay. So with no rules, no expectations, no manners, no nothing, right? Just
Yeah.
survival, right? And that's the world she knew for the first 5 years of her life. The 4 years after that was in it's called a creche, which is like an orphanage. But these orphanages, if they're in America, they would have been closed down yesterday, right?
Right.
There's no running anything. It's just, it's a step above a sewer, or a couple
Yeah.
steps above a sewer, right? But at least they get fed and clothed. And so So we have years and years of
Did you
conditioning and programming to kind of break through and reorganize.
did you build a relationship with her in the last 5 years? Like, so she at least, as you started the process, I mean, um, and it took, you said, 4 or 5 years. So did you have a chance to get to know her during those years?
Yeah, well, we were matched probably 2 years ago. So yeah, and it was a somewhat of a, I guess, a bonding experience through you know visits to Haiti. Of course, sometimes we were there for 2 weeks, sometimes a few days. Um, but yeah, then a lot through bad cell phone, FaceTime calls with a representative in Haiti. So it was tough, and it's a beautiful process. It's a very difficult process on many levels, but beautiful and rewarding.
Oh, that's cool, man, and congrats for taking that on. I know she must appreciate you having you as a dad. So, um, congrats on that, and congrats to your family. And tell us about what you're doing with Haitian Roots. And so, some of the profit from your drop is going there.
Yeah, 50% of the profits are going directly to Haitian Roots. The Haitian Roots, their main mission is to build education, build schools in Haiti, right? There's very good data showing that countries that have poor education and poor education models and educated population are strife with poverty. So there's a correlation between educated societies and non-educated societies. So their mission is to educate the Haitians, and they start that with schools. From kindergarten up through high school, right? So that's their mission. But especially through this pandemic and lockdown, the supply chains have really been cut off. It's made a bad situation worse. And now they've got these schools, and the kids coming to school but starving,
Yeah,
not hungry, not I mean, completely hungry. So all of us have experienced levels of hunger in our life, right? Maybe we skipped a meal, maybe we fasted for a few days, right? So we understand like what it feels like to be hungry, and it's very uncomfortable. And if you're hungry, you can't do anything, right? You're
yeah,
just like, man, I'm hungry, right? You get irritable. Well, can you imagine not eating for days, right? Um, and so they go to school, the kids are appreciative of the school and be able to school, but if they haven't eaten in a day or two or
it's
more,
hard to learn.
right, you can't learn. So now they've focused to raise money to feed the kids. At least they get a nice one nice meal a day, right?
Yeah,
These meals cost about 75 cents each, and it's a pretty good size bowl of food, right? So it'll at least sustain somebody for a day. Like, it's not optimum, but at least it's something, right? So that's what they're focusing on right now. They need $75,000 per year to do this the school food program. We're hoping through this drop model to raise at least 50,000 for that. Um, but yes, that's the target. Cheryl Moyes, who's the founder of Haitian Roots, is just an exceptional human, a hero of mine for her dedication and what she's doing. There's a full length hour long interview on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to view that. Just a really good woman, and she even broke down and cried a few times on the interview of just telling about the stories. But yeah, so I started Uplift Nation through this adoption process, seeing and need, and seeing where blockchain could really help in excuse me, adding value to the charitable space. And then I thought of creating a revenue model, a business model that could raise money for charity, such as Haitian Roots, but also reward the artists and also keep the business afloat. So 50% is going directly to the charitable cause. In this instance, it's Haitian Roots. 25% is going to the artists, and then 25% to the operations. Now, since I'm the artist on this one, I'm not taking that personally. So that 25% is going to the rock star singer Corey Cottrell, Cottrell, who's just an amazing talent. Um, and I just did an extended version of the song "I'm Not the Bubble," which I'm really stoked about. So the original song's about 2.5 minutes long, and this one's about 4.5 minutes long, and it's just dynamic, especially the ending.
Oh yeah. Um, Now you said a lot there, and I want to get back to a couple things. But the first thing that pops up into my head is like, yeah, I haven't. I think I've seen snippets of this song. I'm not the bubble, but I really do love your original piece of Bitcoin Bull. Was that actually written by you uh, and obviously performed by you, but written by you?
Yeah, I do it all. I wrote it, produced it, played it. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my in my wheelhouse. I'm a producer, writer, um, and then this song is the evolution of that. So basically, I met Corey through Chirp.la. It's a new social media platform that embraces the blockchain technology. Um, and so he's one of the managers of that ecosystem. And I found out he was a singer and a guitarist. He was a fan of my Bitcoin Bull. And so I said, and then I did a remix of my Bitcoin Bull,
Yeah.
which is really cool. And I said, hey, Corey, knowing you're a singer and a guitarist, why don't you record yourself playing along to that song, and then I'll produce that version of it, right? So then he played along to the remix with his headphones, and he has some recording gear at home, and he sent me the vocals and then his guitar, and then I took that and I completed a whole new track to support his vocals and his guitar. And it turned out amazing, in my opinion. I keep telling him, I go, hey, you do Mblu better than Mblu. Because I just love his smoking voice and just his groove. He's very soulful. Um, and so that song is called, so my Bitcoin Bull evolved into this new song called I'm Not the Bubble.
Right.
And now just today, I finished I'm Not the Bubble extended
Oh
version,
yeah.
which will be a special rarity level in the upcoming November 15th drop.
Oh wow. Okay. So I have a question for you, Mblu. You're putting these songs and the visuals and the art all together. I've seen it. The quality is just top notch. I love it. I think everyone should, if they're an artist, they should be inspired by your level of quality and the way you package everything together is just amazing. What? So you've packaged this into an NFT. What does this mean for ownership of the song here? That, like, I don't know. You tell me as the artist. What are your expectations?
Well, I guess my first motivation was before the auction a couple months ago, where I created the original My Bitcoin Bull and created that into an NFT, because I was in the CryptoKitties whole experience back in the day on Ethereum, and I still peek my head in the Ethereum NFT space and kind of see what they're doing. And there's some really good things happening on Ethereum. However, under its current protocol, it just doesn't make sense to do NFTs on Ethereum because it's just way too expensive, and I could go on and on. The list is long. We'll see how ETH2 handles NFTs. Hopefully better. But So I saw that they were doing sound NFTs. So I'd see NFTs that would have like 15 seconds of, a little piano lick or some, weird, interesting, effects sounds, right? And so I was thinking, well, hell, if they can do like a 15-second sound art, I was calling it NFT sound art, then why couldn't I just put a whole, music video
Music
up
video.
as an NFT? And so then I go, yeah, hey, maybe I can be the first one to put a full length music video as an NFT on the blockchain. Like, that'll be my flag in the ground, right? And so I did it. And Yeah, you can see that on wax.atomichub.io. If you search my Bitcoin Bull V, that's the one of one uh, music video. But really, NFT, what that means to me as far as ownership, just you know, as the author, I will always be known as the author of that first music video on the blockchain, right? So it really just, shows the timestamp, the time, the date, the metadata that I choose to associate with that NFT. Um, so moving forward, I can see to where any artist doesn't have to be musician, but can be an animator or an illustrator. They have a really cool concept, and they put it up as an NFT on the blockchain. That will always be associated to them in their account, right? And if they choose to put the metadata, hey, I'm the author of this, um, you know, then it'll be time stamped and dated. So that's kind of like a, a timestamp, a proof that that artist actually did create that at that time.
Okay. And what about for the owner of the NFT? Does that give them permission to play that song whenever they want, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's it's basically what it enables for the user and the collector is it allows them one to you know to view it, use it as they wish, but in a similar vein of if you bought a CD at the store, I mean, which I don't think you can even do anymore, but as an example, you can't rip that and sell it on eBay as your own, right? But you can play it whenever you want. You can have a party at your house and play it, and
Yeah.
so it's not like ownership, unless you specify it in the sales contract that by owning this one of one, it gives you exclusive rights,
Right.
and you know which can be done, right? But it's really for use type of transfer. Like, you can use this as you wish, but not in a monetary sense. But if you own it, then you can obviously sell it, trade it, gift it, on an exchange. But that doesn't give you the rights to
Re-
necessarily advertise with it or use it as your product, right? Um, does that kind of answer your question?
yeah, it does. Thank you. Actually, we have. So you mentioned "I'm Not the Bubble" V2 extended. I just pulled it up over here. Did you want me to show any particular part of it, or?
Well, if you got time to play the whole thing, that would be cool. It's 4.5 minutes long, but this this is going to be given to the top 10 users, collectors that get the collector's edition from the November 15th drop. So, how you get the collector's edition is you burn 25 collectibles from any rarity level up from common through legendary. And if you burn those 25, burn upgrade mechanic, you get a collector's edition from that rarity level. So if you get all 25 from the rare level, for example, and you burn upgrade those, then you get the collector's editions from the rare um, edition category. Okay, now the first one in gets mint number one.
Right.
The second one in gets mint number two, so on and so forth. So the first 10 that gets the collector's items, the collector's editions cards or collectibles, will receive the I'm Not the Bubble V2 extended,
Oh yeah.
which has just been finished, and I'm super excited about it.
Awesome. One question before we play it. So there are 10 different collector's editions?
There's five. So
There's
there's a
5.
there's a common collectors, there's a uncommon collectors, there's a rare, epic, and legendary collectors editions for all the different rarity levels. Now the mythic collection, you can burn any 10 from any rarity level, common through legendary, duplicates included. So let's say you have four times a lady, NFT from the rare category, right? You got 10 of those, right? And say, I got an abundance of these. Well, you can burn, upgrade those, and what you'll do is you'll receive a random um, collectible from the rarity level above it,
Right.
right? So rare to epic. So you'll either get an epic random collectible or a chance of getting a mythic
Wow.
collectible.
And
Um, so,
and
th-
and how
so
many
that's the only
mythics
way.
are
That's
there?
the only way you can get mythic collectibles, either that way or on a secondary exchange.
And each of the mythics have a music video associated with it?
Yes, they do. A snippet of the music. So the full music video are all the
Okay.
collector's editions. The mythic are snippets of the music video, as well as legendary is also a different snippet of the music video.
Okay. Very cool. Let me bring this one up here and we can both watch it together.
A Bitcoin bull is all I got left. Sold my clothes, gold no less. Wheels are circling, hollow hands. This man's stronger than the average man. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pen. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pen. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pen. I'm not the bubble. I'm not the bubble. Day the markets take another day to restart and refuel this moon boy ship. My dreams may be futile, but it's you say, well, my dreams may be futile, but Bitcoin bull keeps charging away. Oh, you see, yeah. My Bitcoin bull keeps charging away. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not the bubble. 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 I'm not the bubble, 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 I'm the pen. 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 I'm not the bubble, 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 I'm the pen. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pen. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pen. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pen.
That's Uplift Headquarters right there.
And I saw your video of how you made that, with your curtains in the back, right?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
That's amazing, man. I love that. Yeah, you're right. He's a superstar. I love his voice, and the visuals are just wow.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. So that's the new special edition. Will be rewarded to all the top 10 collector's edition holders.
Okay. I have to figure out exactly my game plan on how to try and get one of those. Definitely. I might just snag one off the secondary market.
For $10,000.
Oh my gosh. I was lucky enough to get a number 10 mint of my Bitcoin bull for a decent price. So,
Nice, nice. Wow.
yeah. Um, and yeah, thanks for that. So, Michael, how do you see this being consumed in the future? Like, we've seen display tech being caught up. Like, I see Samsung released some big screen TVs that are mountable and look like frames. Do you eventually see this in like 2 years? You can pull up my Bitcoin bull on a tap it on your wall. You know, someone comes into your house and you're showing it off. That's how I envision it. What about you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the NFT space is going to disrupt everything digital media. I mean, the way we consume it, use it, trade it, buy it, collect it. The use cases we don't, it's what we don't know yet because we're such an early stage. It's like literally, this analogy gets used so much, but it's so true. It's like, trying to understand where the internet will go back in the early 90s,
Right.
right? And the types of businesses that will be, created. Um, but yeah, you know, I'm envisioning like also, MTV 3.0 to where, you watch and also collect your favorite, music videos that you can actually own and collect, trade, and sell. But that could also be true for animated movies, right? Or any type of movie, anything digital. But yes, as far as the art on the walls in the future, we're going to have these really sleek, big old flat screens of every room of the house, and you can program them to display whichever catalog you want to display at different times. Probably voice command,
Yeah.
hey, play on Blues, My Bitcoin Bull. It's like, all right, it's in sound off, yeah, sound on. It's like, okay, skip to whatever. I'm not the bubble.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so it's going to be awesome. The technology is already there to do this, but it's just going to get better and easier, and it's more meaningful.
I almost imagine it too, like you're having some guests come over to your house, and it depends who comes over. You can change the playlist of your wall art, right? If your friends are coming, your guy friends are coming over, you put up different pictures, and if you have like some families coming over, you put up some different pictures.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Hey Siri, rated G.
The boys are coming over. Put it all up.
Yeah, the family pack.
That's funny.
My phone just actually said, "I didn't get that. Can you try again?"
Yeah, yeah. It's just a matter of time before your art changes because of that, right? That's crazy. Well, thanks for coming on. Can you give everyone, like, I know you have a couple of videos out there about, like, who, what, why, and how to do the upgrade process. I encourage everybody who sees this to look at those videos. I'll link them in the description. Um, Also, pricing information is out there. You have a $5 and a $25 pack crate, and yeah, where can we find more about the drop and details?
Well, we've got an UpliftArt Telegram channel that's just blowing up. A lot of fun happening in there. We're also giving away community crates. These are the promo crates, just to get everybody jazzed and understanding the process and what we're delivering. People are really loving those. So come to Uplift Art, ask questions if you have any. Look in the pinned posts as well. Uplift.Art is the main website and where everything's going to be happening during the November 15th. So a lot of information on there.
So the drop
Um,
will happen on Uplift.art.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, that's the starting point, but the actual mechanisms and the upgrade features will be on wax.atomichub.io, who's partnering with us on this drop. Fortunately, they've been tremendous partners and adding tremendous amount of value to the Uplift.Art ecosystem. Want to shout out to Jonah and Fabian, total rock stars and innovators in the NFT space. But I've got a YouTube channel, Mblu Crypto. I'm on Twitter, Mblu Crypto. No E on Blue, just MBLU. But yeah, just a lot of fun things happening. A lot of firsts in the space, and throwing stuff up against the wall. Come play with us and give us your feedback and input, and we'll make iterations and grow and evolve from here.
All right, somebody. Can you give me a value butter before you go?
Okay, I got to get into that. Butter, baby.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for coming on. Love it.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
Ciao.